All right, everybody. So just to start things off here, we are going to be a little bit quick here for about the first 5 to 10 minutes because I want to show you all how quick you can actually navigate the platform as an end user and how quick and speedy this platform can actually be. I mean, you can trade pretty much every product that we offer from a single page, and I'll show you all how to do that and as we go throughout the demo here. So first things first, we're going to want to look in the upper right corner of our screen here. You should see a little arrow facing to the left. This is going to be our right sidebar menu. So to be the quickest trade-wise, at least on the platform, in my opinion, you're definitely going to want to have this right sidebar menu popped out as we're going along. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out here right now and dock it. All right, getting right into things. So let's go ahead and place our first options trade. We've got DraftKings pulled up here in our active symbol area. So if we want to go ahead and start placing a trade on the options here, you go ahead and go to the trade tab. From the trade tab here, we can select an expiration. So let's go ahead and go with the March 15th expiration here. We'll go ahead and pop that open. And then let's just say we want to buy a put here at the 40 strike. So we'll go ahead and click on the ask price. You'll see the order ticket at the bottom of our screen. We'll go ahead and change this from a limit to a market order in the order type. We'll go ahead and fire that off, review and send the order. And you'll notice just like that, we've been filled on that trade. Now, with this position here, you can see it in a couple different places. Again, we're looking for speed here. So the easiest place, in my opinion, is going to be on the right side panel here. You could see we get a nice little position detail. Let me just point this all out for you. We get a nice little position detail. So it looks like we're holding DraftKings positions in multiple accounts here. This being the one we just opened up, the 40 strike put for March 15th. You could see that here. You could also see a little mini snapshot of the activity tab. So you could see any working, filled, or canceled trades at the bottom of the right side panel here. So if we're looking to close this position out, we can simply just go ahead and right click on the position from the position detail off to the right side of the page. Go ahead and choose the close position option here. And you'll notice now we've got an opposite order lined up. So you'll see here denoted by this red box, the S1, we are now selling this option that we just bought. So just like that, we've got a closing order lined up. Once we've reviewed the price, we'll go ahead and just do another market order, review and send, fire that off. And just like that, we've closed out of the position. So as you can see here, it could be very, very quick and snappy here on the trade tab. I mean, there's really no reason to leave the trade tab unless you wanted to view like the overall positions in your portfolio. You could do that from the positions tab. But there's really no reason to leave the trade tab if you're an active trader. I mean, I like to refer to this as a trader's platform. So you can trade literally everything, close in and out, or go in and out of positions right from this trade tab, manage the positions right from this right sidebar menu. It's very, very quick. Mark, just because I see it here in the chat right away, I docked this right sidebar menu using this arrow up here. Now, depending on screen size and resolution, you may not have this option, but this little arrow up here is what you're going to want to use. So if it's facing to the left, you're not docked, but if you would like to dock it, go ahead and click it. It'll then be facing to the right. Then you know you've got that right sidebar docked. All right, everybody. Another very useful feature I wanted to point out here along the right sidebar menu. If you're someone who's tracking your positions, or maybe you roll a lot, and I'm sure now you may have like a spreadsheet or something along those lines that you're tracking all your rolls on, so you kind of have to do it manually. No worries. I mean, this right sidebar menu, once again, I'm referring to it. We've got an order chains feature, is what it's called. This is going to take pretty much takes all the manual tracking out of it for you. This order chains feature is going to manually track all rolls that you've done on positions. And I'll show you all that right now. So that's going to be this icon right here. If we go into the order chains, you'll notice we still got our active symbol, DraftKings, highlighted at the top here. This is going to be the trade that we just placed. So pretty simple, only two boxes here. We'll be showing the opening and closing positions. But you'll notice underneath that we have a nice strangle that we've placed and rolled a couple of times. So if we check this out right here, we started off here back on December 28th. We opened a strangle where we sold the 32 strike put and sold the 42 strike call. And we did that for a $2.15 credit. And then it looks like on January 1st, we ended up rolling that for $1.05 credit. We rolled it again later in January for another $1.01. Again in February, and one more time recently, or a couple more times here, February and February again. We've rolled it for a few credits and then also a debit. So you'll notice that these debits and credits, I mean, the order chains feature will add them up for you. So you don't have to go in and do the manual math yourself. It's all done for you. If we just scroll up a little bit, you can see here we have an average trade price of $5.15 on this Strangle. So this has added up all the debits or credits that we've received from rolling the position. That's tracked here under the average trade price. It will give you the current mark price on the position, and then also your total profit and loss on the position as well. Another thing I wanted to point out, just in terms of like whether or not you have a position open or closed, this yellow circle here, if it's kind of just an outline of this yellow circle, this will indicate that the position is still open. If the position were to be closed, this would be a filled in blue circle. So that's a nice little feature to track your rolls automatically for you. Again, you could kind of just take those spreadsheets that you have and throw them out the window. I mean, unless of course you still like to track it yourself, but this order chains feature definitely will make it a little bit easier for you in that aspect as well, because everything will already be drawn out for you. All right, everybody. So we're going to go ahead and slow things down a little bit now. I want to show you all how to. We're going to get a little bit deeper into like option trades, spreads specifically. We're not just going to stick to single leg stuff this whole time. So we're going to go ahead and dive into spreads now. I just wanted to show you all a couple more features we have on the table trade page here to help you identify maybe some trades you would like to take. So off the bat here, I'm going to go ahead and collapse this menu. Actually, you know what? Let's show you all one more thing we have really quickly. On the platform, I like to call it the active symbol area. So we have DraftKings up here. You'll notice it in the upper right corner as well. You can quickly change through those. So if you're someone who has a watch list, we have this nice watch list along the left side of the screen here, which is actually, you can't remove this. So this is going to be there constantly, the watch list. If you're looking to switch between a symbol quickly, you could actually just go ahead and select the symbol from the watch list. So let's say maybe we wanted to go into Costco, go ahead and click on cost over here on the left side of the screen. You'll notice now Costco populates across the platform, and we have the option chain pulled up here for Costco. So just a couple things to note here before we get into placing a spread trade. First of all, on the table mode here, we have the expirations displayed along the left side of the screen. If you're someone who isn't basing your trades based off of like let's say an expiration date, and you're more so just looking at days until expiration, that is laid out for you nicely along this middle column in the table mode here. And then off to the right side of the page, we have even more information. We get the implied volatility. That would be this IVX, that percentage number there. And then we also have the expected move. So for example, on the March 15th, 2024 expiration, you could see an expected move here in parentheses. So plus or minus $30.96 to the upside or downside. And sometimes you could even get some more information here. It looks like Costco has upcoming earnings on March 7th. So that would be denoted by this purple line here. When it comes to ex-dividend dates, you will also see that displayed here as well. That would be a blue line that runs across the table here. Jimmy, the max you can add to a watch list 6 to 8. No, you can add as many symbols as you would like to the watch list. You would just have to scroll. We just happen to have we don't have very many symbols in our preset watch list here, but you could add as many as you would like. Okay, so let's get into the business here. Let's go ahead and actually place a spread trade. So let's say maybe we wanted to do something 30 days out. We'll go ahead and use our handy feature here. We could see the 30-day out expiration would bring us to March 28th. We'll go ahead and click into that. We now have popped open the option chain here. Calls will be on the left side of the strike prices. So calls on the left. and then puts will be displayed on the right side of the strikes. And then you can also use this heading at the top to sort the strikes from ascending or descending order. So you'll notice now as I click the heading, the strikes will flip. But let's go ahead and get something queued up. Let's say maybe we wanted to do a delta neutral trade or something along those lines. We can actually go ahead and from this trade tab, we could actually add delta to our columns here. We have these nice customizable columns along the top row here. You'll notice those customizable ones are denoted by this little circular icon that indicates that column or header at least is customizable. Now you'll notice I only have 2 here, but you can get access to up to 4 customizable headers here. It all depends on screen size and resolution. So the larger the monitor, I mean, the more columns we're going to be able to fit there. So I mentioned I wanted to set something up here that's delta neutral. So we'll go ahead and click into that heading here. We'll go with the volume one here. We'll go ahead and change that to delta. Okay, so at this point, let's maybe set up a strangle here on Costco. Let's say maybe we wanted to come out and sell something that's about 1 standard deviation out. So we'll sell the 60 or the 695. Click on the bid price there to sell the 695. And then we can also, going 1 standard deviation out on the call side, go ahead and sell the 795 call over here. And the standard deviation lines, those will be these blue dotted lines here. That indicates 1 standard deviation, this more closely dotted line. And in some instances, you may be able to see the 2 standard deviation line as well. We'll see it here for Costco. Yes, you could see it here. You'll see it's a little more spaced out. So that would indicate 2 standard deviations out. So now that we've got our trade set up, actually, you know what? I said I wanted to make this delta neutral. So let's see how close we can get. Okay, so we're selling the 15 delta call, sell the 15 delta put there. So once we've got those 2 queued up, again, you can see the delta right here and right here. Once we've got that queued up, we can shift our focus to our trade ticket here. We could see our order in the bottom left corner. You'll see we're selling to open the March 28th 695 put and selling to open the March 28th 800 call. From here, we can also adjust our limit price. So you'll see there's this nice little price bar at the bottom, which will give you a good bit of information. You'll notice this defaulted to the current mid price of $7.99, but we can also see the natural price of the spread here in this price bar. It's $7.70. So we can certainly try and get this filled here at the mid. We'll see if it gets done, but if not, we may have to work something closer to that natural price. So I'm satisfied with this order here. I've got my price set at $7.99. I have my time in force as good till cancel. You can adjust that as well to either day or good till date. We'll go ahead and leave it as a good till cancel right now. But once you're satisfied, you go ahead and click this review and send button, send that order off. And it looks like we actually went ahead and got filled at $8 there. You could see that fill in the upper left corner. Once again, you can also see that if we come to the overview tab on the right side of the page here. We'll see that again in the position detail and then activity section that I had referenced earlier. So we see our position here. We also see it in the activity section down here. So we can see our fill price. All of that information is displayed there. We also get a nice little mini chart of Costco here. But if you're someone who likes to trade based on charts as well, no worries. I'll show you that a little bit later. We'll touch on that briefly. We have a tastycharts tab that you can actually pop out. So if you have multiple monitors, you could throw that up there and you actually don't have to leave this trade page at all when trading. So I know we covered with the 1-page trading a lot here to start, but I just wanted to show you all a couple other places where you can see this position. Obviously, that is going to be the positions tab would be another place where you could see the position we just opened. So we'll go ahead and click into that now. We're looking for Costco. You can see that here. We'll go ahead and click into that. You'll see the strangle we just opened. You can also from the positions tab here, you can close the position just by left clicking each of the legs. When you're trading a spread, it's very important that you will want to select all of the legs of the spread. If you're looking to close out the whole thing, you'll want to select all of the legs first by left clicking on them. You'll notice they highlight in this white, almost like a light gray white color here. Once you have them highlighted, just go ahead and place your cursor in the highlighted area right click. And then from here, we could either close the position or we could even add a bracket order here. I mean, if you're someone who's interested in adding like a stop loss or a bracket order to a position that you have, you can do that for after the position's already been opened. You can also do it upon initial order entry. I'll show you all where that's at in a little bit. But to start the bracket order here, you go ahead and click into that. And you'll notice now we get a bracket order screen. The left side of the bracket order page here, we have a gray box. This will show our position that is already open. So what we'll be concerned with at this point is going to be these two boxes off to the right side. We have the red box, which would be the stop loss, and the green one showing the take profit. So at this point, you can go ahead and set up your stop limit and stop triggers. So let's say maybe we wanted to throw the stop limit at $17. We'll do a stop trigger of $16.50. So when the price of this spread reaches $16.50, that stop would be triggered, and then a limit order to close at a price of $17 or better would be routed to the market. And then once again, you can adjust the time and force here. We'll keep it as a good till cancel, but you are able to adjust that with this little box down here. You get the drop down to change to a day, good till date, or keep it as a good till cancel. Moving along here to our close at profit. At this point, it looks like it's at $4, so exactly 50%. Let's go ahead and actually, we won't get too greedy. We'll maybe bump that up to $5 and go with something that's, oops, let's see here. $5. There you go. And then once we are satisfied with this order, similar to how we routed the order from the trade page, we just go ahead and click this review and send button. It will take you to a review page, and at that point, you can go ahead and send the order off. And you'll notice now we have those orders working. Those can be seen once again on the positions tab, or if you're looking if you're using that right side panel, we could go ahead and make this as big as we possibly can. Using that right side panel, you can see those working orders as well. So if we get rid of some of these filters, now we'll just have our workings showing, and we won't have any filled or canceled orders on Costco that are getting in the way. Okay, let me just see. Is there any questions so far? Okay, I see our team's doing a pretty good job of getting these answered for you guys. So now if we're looking to adjust this trade that we just placed in any way, what we can do is go ahead and just right click on the working order itself here. We can right click. From here, we get the option to either replace the order. So that would be the way to make an adjustment. So let's say we have this is going to be the take profit portion of the order here. You'll see we have it at a limit of $5. So if we were to right click on that one, we can replace. And then from here, we can adjust the take profit price that we have this submitted at. So let's maybe bump it back down or bump it up to $7 here. We'll go ahead, review and send that, send the order off. And you'll notice now we have a new working order, which you can see in the right side panel here. Or going back to the position screen, you could also see we have that new working take profit order at a $7 debit right here. If you're looking to close out or cancel the working order, a complex order like this bracket order, you can just do that in a couple clicks. You would right click on the working order from the position screen, or again, you can even right click from this right sidebar menu. So if you're still on that trade screen that I referenced earlier, there's really no reason to leave it. If you've got this right side panel up, you can cancel the order right from here. So if we're looking to cancel the complex order, just go ahead and right click on the working order and choose cancel complex order from the menu. Click yes, and you'll notice just like that, we've canceled our bracket order. Okay, everybody. Now I want to go ahead and segue into our next section here. This is going to be, again, in our trade tab. It's one of our other trade modes that we offer. I believe I saw some questions about it earlier. It's going to be where you could see your P&L graph of the trade, otherwise known as like our curve or analysis mode. So this is where you're able to see that fancy P&L graph. So in order to get there, we're going to go ahead and navigate back to the trade tab. From the trade tab now, you're going to want to direct your attention to the upper left corner where it says trade mode. You'll notice right now we have table selected. If we go ahead and click this drop down arrow, that will bring up a few different trade modes that we offer. So to get the P&L graph, you're going to want to be in curve. And then you're also going to want to select the analysis mode here. So that's, I know I did that a little fast. So once you're in curve, you also want to select this analysis button right here. And from here, you'll see we have a nice P&L graph. I know it may be a little small at this point, but if you're someone who has a scroll wheel on your mouse, if you're using a mouse, you can quickly zoom in or zoom out using that scroll wheel. Oops. So that would be a quick way to zoom in or zoom out. You could also use the magnifying glasses up in the right corner here to zoom in or zoom out if you don't have a scroll wheel there on your mouse, just to get a little bit of a better picture on the graph. So I know we get questions about this mode all the time. People are a little confused about what to select because it could be a little overwhelming. We have all these different options here along the top of the page here. What do I choose? How'd you get that P&L graph set up like that? Well, in my opinion, I mean, for the most part, what you're going to be using this for is more so to analyze your profit and loss at expiration. But if you are using it for theoretical P&L, I will dive into that a little bit in just a moment. But Christian also shout out to him. He's in the chat today. He has a great video that he posted on our YouTube channel. It's about 10 minutes long on all the ins and outs about this mode, how to use the theoretical values off to the right sidebar and things along those lines to manipulate the trade and see how you may be performing at a certain date or if certain conditions happen. So I'm sure one of the reps here in the chat can go ahead and drop a link to Christian's video on our YouTube channel. Very, very informative. Okay, but the big ones here that you're going to want to have selected, in my opinion, are going to be this P&L EXP, so P&L at expiration. Right now I'm displaying no Greek, but you could put one if you would like. For the curve portion, you have default and analysis. I have both of those unchecked. And then for zones, now this is very important. If you want to see P&L at expiration, you need to make sure that you have the at expiration zones selected. That's how we get those green and red P&L zones. So you'll notice here, as we hover our cursor along the page, we get this little information box here at the top. And let me see. I can point that out. So that's going to be this little information box here. Watch this box as I move my cursor along the graph here. Those P&L values will change. So the P&L theoretical value that you're seeing in this box, that's assuming all things remain constant. So nothing changes, no changes in IV, price remains the same. Pretty much everything remains constant. So if we're analyzing P&L at expiration, we're honestly not even going to want to pay too much attention to this value. The one we're going to want to be looking at is going to be this P&L EXP value right here. And then we have the price above it. So we could see if a certain price is achieved by expiration, this is what our profit or loss would be looking like. So as we hover our cursor along the graph here, you'll notice right now those values show we're at a loss. If we're at a price of about $677.25 come expiration, we'd be at a loss of about $975. But as we move our cursor along further and further to the right here, you'll notice we start to go into a profit zone. And then our max profit being the credit that we sold this Strangle for. So that would be the $800 that you see there. We sold it for an $8 credit originally. So if this thing winds up come expiration somewhere between $695 and $800, if the price of Costco come expiration is between there, we can expect to see a P&L at expiration of $800. So that would be a nice little way to see what your max profit or max loss potentials would be just as you scroll your cursor along the menu here. Now I did mention the theoretical values and how you can kind of manipulate those to see what your P&L figures may be looking like if certain conditions were to apply. So again, I won't go too deep into this, but I'll kind of just give you a little short breakdown here. Once again, referring to our right sidebar, Again, I know I've referred to this a ton already. This is a very, very, very useful tool. And if your monitor is large enough to have this thing docked the whole time, I mean, you're going to find yourself in that right sidebar menu constantly between the order chains and the analysis mode here. I mean, if you've got that thing docked, then you really don't need to be clicking around all over the platform. You've got everything for you, everything there for you just from the trade page and the right sidebar menu. So it's a couple clicks and that's it. You're not wasting much time at all. Platform is built for speed and to be very, very efficient. So I know I mentioned earlier, it's a trader's platform. Even if you're not an active trader, I mean, there's still very, very many useful tools. You don't necessarily have to be an active trader to trade with us. I mean, you could trade stock, trade however you would like. And you could, I mean, we're pretty flexible. Our platform is. I mean, I would say it's also very simple to use. It's not cluttered at all, in my opinion. I know it can be a little daunting to learn at first, but once you get the thing down, I mean, it's very, very smooth, very quick, very efficient overall for what you want to accomplish in your trading. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click into that analysis mode here. Now you'll see here at the top of the page, right now we only have this Strangle on Costco, but if you had multiple positions open in Costco, you can actually get an idea of what your profit and loss graph looks like when taking all of those positions into account. So if you're looking to analyze, maybe just one of these legs of the Strangle here, we can go ahead and just deselect the call here. Now you'll notice we have the P&L graph for just the short put. If we want to add the call back, we'll go ahead and check that box. And boom, now we're analyzing the full Strangle again. So same thing if you have multiple positions open, like if you had a vertical spread or something along those lines, and you wanted to see what your P&L graph looks like at expiration, considering both of your positions that you have on. You could analyze that here by adding that vertical spread from the analysis mode here in the upper right corner. You know what, everybody, just give me one moment. Okay, Marco, I see your question here. Can you put stop limit orders? Where can you check if the order has been filled, and where can you modify the order if not filled? Yes, I will cover that in just a moment here. So with the right sidebar menu here, you could also adjust the date that you're viewing or that you're evaluating at, and that will change your P&L theoretical value. So you'll notice as we kind of tick through the dates here, the P&L theo value in the upper right corner of the screen will adjust. So that's your theoretical P&L. As we get closer to expiration, maybe we want to evaluate at a different price. So if this thing was trading at like $7.80, all of these factor into how your P&L theo will be affected. Again, that's about to the extent I'm going to cover it right now in this demo. Christian has that great video out on our YouTube channel. It's about 10 minutes long. Please do check that out if you're looking to learn more about how you can change the values here in the analysis mode. All right, Marco, can you put stop limit orders? Yes, let's go ahead and get into that one right now. So in order to queue up a stop limit order here, I know I showed you all earlier how to do a bracket, but if you're just looking for a stop limit order, you can accomplish that as well. So we're going to go ahead and head back over to the table mode here. Again, that's going to be this drop down in the upper left corner. We're going to go back to the table mode. And from this page, using our right sidebar menu in the overview section, we have our little breakdown of our position. So we have, you can see here, the 695 put, 800 strike call. If we want to set up a stop loss on this, we can go ahead and just left click while they're already highlighted, but just make sure both of your legs of the trade are selected. At this point, you can now go ahead and right click, choose close position. Now, don't worry. I know a lot of times people are hesitant to just click close position because they think it's going to route an order off right away. That's not the case. So go ahead and choose close position. All it does is take you to a closing order ticket. Now, from here, if you're looking to set just a stop loss, you're going to want to do that under your order type here. So right now we have net debit selected. If we're looking to do a stop loss, you can go ahead. Oh, it looks like Zoom is cutting this off. One moment. There we go. Okay. So you'll see we have net credit, net debit, and then stop limit. So if you're looking to set up a stop loss, go ahead and choose that stop limit. And then you can also change the time in force here. Once again, keeping it as a GTC is what I'm going to do. All right, and then you can also adjust the stop price at this point. So you're going to have two boxes here when trading spreads. We only offer stop limit orders. So you'll notice you have two boxes you have to, or two components you have to set. You set your stop price, which would be the trigger, and then also your limit price. So let's say we want to set the stop price here at $9. And then we'll go ahead and adjust the limit price here to $9.10. So what this order is telling us, if you're not familiar with stops, basically we have a stop trigger at $9. So if the price of this spread were to reach $9, the trigger would be hit. And then if the trigger is hit, that is then going to route a limit order. Excuse me, that is then going to route a limit order at $9.10 to close the position out. So this limit order at $9.10 is not going to be routed to the market until this stop price at $9 has been hit. So once we're satisfied with that, go ahead and hit review and send, fire that order off, and you'll see we now have that working stop order. We could see it along the right sidebar here in our little activity snapshot. We have the working order right here. All right, everybody, since we're back on the trade tab here, there is one more thing I forgot to show you all earlier. It is our new strategy selector tool. Well, it's always been on there, but we did recently implement the advanced strategy selector, which is new to the tool here. So if you're new to trading spreads, or maybe you're not very comfortable queuing them up on your own yet, and you just prefer to set parameters that you typically like to follow, you could do that all here with our strategy selector tool. So let's go ahead. I know we've got a trade on in Costco already. Let's pull something else up. Maybe we'll go with let's go TSM here. So again, along our left side watch list here, this thing is constant. So if you have a symbol you want to get to quickly, go ahead and just click on that symbol. That'll make it then your active symbol. It pulls it up across the platform. Main panel, right side panel, all populated with TSM. So at this point, now I'm going to direct your attention to the top of our table mode here. We have the strategy selector right here at the top. So let's say maybe we wanted to set something up where we want to do like a bullish put spread or something along those lines. So we can actually manipulate this very first option here at the top. Right now we have a short call vertical. If you want to change that to a short put vertical, you go ahead and click on the word call. You'll notice now we have a short put vertical queued up. And then along the right side here, oh, looks like it's already popped out. Let me go ahead and collapse that for you all. So this is what it's going to look like when you initially pull up the strategy selector. Oops. When you initially pull up the strategy select, it keeps. Okay. So when you initially pull this thing up, you just have all the different strategies listed. And then off to the right side here, we have this show advanced option. So this is what you're going to want to click into after you've selected your strategy at the top. You could kind of see here, short put vertical. It's a little bit darker gray than all the other options. So that means we currently have that one selected. Now, if we wanted to go ahead and adjust the days until expiration, so let's say maybe we wanted to do something that's closest to about 30 days out. And then the target in the money or out of the money percentage, maybe we want to go ahead and go one standard deviation out. So you could actually go ahead, you can adjust percentage wise using these arrows, or you can just go ahead and click the button 1SD here. That will adjust it to one standard deviation. And then at this point, you can also adjust the strike width. So if we wanted to go $5 wide, go ahead and get that queued up. Once we're satisfied with the parameters here, we go ahead and click go at the top. And you'll notice now we have this trade queued up. Looks like since we went one standard deviation out, we had to scroll up a little bit to actually see the legs that were selected. But you'll notice now all the parameters that we had set. I mean, this trade that was queued up by the strategy selector followed all of those. So you'll see at the top, 30 days, one standard deviation out. Again, that's that blue dotted line. And then it's a $5 width from 117 to 112, $5 wide. Now, a couple other things I wanted to point out here on the table mode. You can actually get a good little idea of what your profit and loss zones may be directly from the table mode here. I mean, I still like the analysis mode a lot when I want to go do a little bit more deeper and maybe refine investigation on where my exact P&L zones may be. But this gives you a nice little snapshot of where you may see a profit or loss at expiration. That would be denoted by these red and green bars here. So obviously red is going to be you're at a loss on this trade if it's trading at a price of 116. So you'll see here it starts at about 116. You're at a loss if it's trading at about 116 or lower come expiration. And then you're at a profit at expiration if it's trading at about 117 or higher. So you get a nice little breakdown of the P&L zones there directly on the strike column there in the table mode. The other thing I wanted to point out as well, I know I mentioned it earlier, we could see the expected move in the upper right corner of the screen, but you can also actually see this on these strikes as well. So that's going to be this orangey brown bar here. That's going to be or show the expected move. That's this bar right here that runs up and down the right side of where the strikes are listed. That'll be indicative of the expected move. And then while we're on the topic as well, everybody, if you're curious about maybe the historical pricing of the option, you can also access that from the table menu here. Let's say maybe we were curious to see what the 117 strike has been trading at over, a certain period of time. If we want to go ahead and analyze this, let me go ahead and just clear the trade real quick. So if we wanted to go ahead and analyze this, what we can do is right click anywhere in this blank area on the 117 strike. So we're on the put side here. We want to view the options chart for the 117 put. We'll go ahead and right click in the blank area here. You get an option here that says view option in chart. So you go ahead and click on that. This will bring up a chart of what this thing's been trading like. Let's see if I could get the actually, you know what? This may not be a good 117 may not be a good option. Let me go somewhere closer to the money here. Let's go to the 128 just so we can see a little bit better. Uh, da, 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 da. Oh, right, maybe not TSM. We'll go SPY. And then maybe we'll go with the 1 day here. We'll go with the 506. And then there we go. This is a little bit better chart. So something that's got a little more volume to it. So we've got the 5-day, 5-minute chart queued up here for SPY. You can adjust the aggregation and time intervals at the top of the page here. That would be 5-minute, 5-day right now. You can adjust that by clicking on the drop down. So let's say maybe we wanted to see the 1 minute, and then just for today. So see how this thing's been trading today. There you go. You have a chart of how the price of the option has fared throughout the day so far today using 1-minute candlesticks. Okay, here. I see somebody asked a question how to filter high IVR symbols on the watch list tab. Okay, so in order to do that, we can go to the watch list tab along the left side of our page here. This is going to be our watch list tab. I'll just do it on the main one here so it's easier for everybody to see. So if we click into that, and then let's maybe go to upcoming earnings, we'll go all earnings. And then from here, if you wanted to filter by IVR, I mean, you could just do it quickly by clicking the header here at the top. There's a couple ways you could do it. I mean, based on certain parameters. But if you just wanted to quickly filter by ascending or descending order, you could just left click on the header here at the top. That will sort it then from ascending or to descending order based on your preference. Otherwise, if you wanted to set certain parameters as well, you can do that in our filter icon in the upper right corner of the screen here. It's going to be the button here. Looks like a filter. Go ahead and click on that. You'll notice this will bring up a menu. And at this point, we can adjust the IV rank filter. So Maybe we were only interested in underlyings with upcoming earnings that have an IV rank between we'll call it 25 and 75. So we can use these sliders here to make those adjustments. And then we also have a liquidity rating indicator here at the bottom. 4 stars being the most liquid, 3, 2, 1, obviously not being the 1 and 2 not being the most liquid. So we have a little liquidity rating star system here at the bottom of the page. So let's go ahead and keep it to everything with 4-star liquidity. So I've unchecked the other 3. You'll notice now our watch list that we have queued up has been shortened significantly. So these are all these symbols that meet the parameters we have set. They have an IV rank between 25 and 75, and they have 4-star liquidity rating. Now, another very important thing I wanted to point out here, a lot of times people get into filtering on this watch list tab and they're selecting all these different watch lists, but they're showing not all the symbols that they would expect to be shown are showing up. Reason for that, more likely than not, is going to be because you have some sort of filter selected. So it's very important to take a look at that funnel icon in the upper right corner of the screen. If it's highlighted in blue, that indicates that some sort of filter is selected. So you need to go ahead and click into that filter icon and just reset that. And you'll notice now we get the full list like we had when we first started. All right, everybody. I did want to touch on one more thing here in the order chains feature. I know we went over that pretty early on in the demo, but we'll go back to it now just because it's such a useful feature. I mean, you're going to find yourself using this a lot if you're somebody who does a lot of rolling. So that's going to be this order chains icon along the right sidebar menu here. You can actually get a market state snapshot. So let's go ahead and go back to what we're reviewing earlier. I believe it was Costco we were checking out. No, it wasn't Costco. DraftKings. That's what it was. Okay, so specifically on this Strangle here, if you go ahead and right click on any of these options here that show either like the rolling action where the trade was opened, or just right click on any of these positions shown here, you could get a view market state snapshot here. And from here, this is actually going to show you the price of the price of the underlying at the time you did all of your rolls. So you'll see back on the 28th, the price was trading somewhere between $37.50 and $35. And actually, as we hover our cursor over that yellow diamond there, we actually get a nice little message that pops up showing the exact price. So it looks like this was placed originally when DraftKings were trading at $36.15, so on and so forth. These little diamonds will indicate the price of the underlying at the time when you did all of those rolling transactions. You can also change what you're searching for. So right now it's just underlying last price. We could check out the IV rank and maybe how that's changed over the course of time here since we've been rolling these, or the deltas. We could check those out as well. So this is another very, very useful feature that's associated with our order chains there. Dirk, there you go. Yeah, the market state snapshot. I use it all the time as well. I mean, it's awesome. All right, everybody. That is going to be most of what I wanted to cover today in terms of option trading and how to queue up different types of orders on the platform here. At this point here, I know we're getting close to the end, so I just want to go ahead and open things up to a little Q&A session. I know looks like Christian, Andy, Jolie, and Mark have done a great job of answering questions so far. But if there's anything I missed or anything maybe you want me to cover again, please go ahead and drop it in the chat right now, and we'll go over that. Okay, Kenneth, asking about a conditional order. Let's see. Yeah, so at this time, conditional orders are not available. We are working to get them pushed out. Last I heard, it's something we're hopeful to get done within the next few months here. Christian may be able to provide a little bit of a more more accurate timeline than that. Well, there we go. Conditional summertime, baby. Okay. So I guess sometime in the summer as of right now is what we're expecting on when those conditional orders will be released. Okay, will we be offering paper trading? At this time, paper trading demo accounts, that's just not something that we're planning on offering anytime in the near term, at least. I mean, obviously that can change in the future, but for the time being, it's something that we don't have lined up. Buddy, okay, so this is, yeah, so as far as the charts go, I'll kind of just go over it quickly. I'm not going to get too deep into like drawing and adding indicators and things along those lines. I'm actually going to give a shout out here to another member in the chat, Andy. I don't know if anybody else was in his demo from a couple weeks ago on the charting demo. That playlist is posted on our YouTube channel. That's going to be your go-to tool for learning all the ins and outs of charting on the desktop platform here. So I'm sure somebody can go ahead and drop a link in the chat to that. But as far as the charts go, I'll just give you a quick little overview. That's going to be the charting tab here on the left side of the screen. Go ahead and click into that. You have your indicators button in the upper left corner. You can click on that and that will pull up your indicators window. From here, we have a ton of different indicators that you can choose from to add to the graph. And then you can also adjust the aggregation and time interval. Once again, similar to how we did on the options chart. And we also have a drawing tool here. That's going to be this drop-down menu up here. Click that drop-down. And from here, you have all the different drawing options. So you could draw price levels. You could draw channels, things along those lines. Again, Andy did a great job covering all of this in his charting demo from a couple of weeks ago. So there we go. It looks like Christian just threw a link in the chat there to our YouTube channel. Go ahead and click that link, and then that'll take you right to the channel. There's a little tab there for playlists, and everything's going to be sorted out. So from desktop to web to mobile, iPad, and then even our charting demo all have their own playlist on there. So very easily accessible. Okay, can you set up multiple charts, buddy? Yes, that's what I was referencing earlier when about the one page trading here. So let's go ahead and thank you for reminding me. That's going to be the Tasty Charts feature. So again, when we first started this demo, we were in the trade tab here, and I mentioned how there's really no reason to leave this. I know some of you do like to trade based on charts. So if you're someone who does that, does like to base your trading on charts, you can actually use the Tasty Charts feature. That's going to be your best friend here. The Tasty Charts feature, depending on your screen size and resolution, you can actually get up to, let's see what I could get right now. Yeah, so probably just going, oh, there we go. I got 4. So depending on screen size and resolution, they are a little small right now. I'm not working on the biggest screen right now, or the biggest monitor right now. But depending on screen size and resolution, you can get up to 4 charts at once. This would be the way to do it in the Tasty Charts tab. And then you can actually go ahead and pop this out. Fortunately, I can't do it right now because it kind of messes up Zoom when I detach this from the platform here. But to detach the Tasty Charts, you go ahead and click this arrow up here. That will detach this as a separate window. So if you're someone who has multiple monitors, or maybe a monitor large enough to where you can have the main trading platform and then the Tasty Charts right next to it, this would be an option for you. Again, not really much of a reason to leave that trade tab. If you're able to pop the Tasty Charts out and pop those up on another monitor, you can pretty much keep that trade tab open constantly. So you can trade range of products from there. I mean, we focused on options today, but you can also trade stock, you can trade futures options, and you can trade outright futures all from that trade tab as well. For stock and outright futures contracts, all you need to do is click on the bid or the ask price that you see. So you can do that at like the top of the platform where the bid ask is displayed. If you want to queue up an order for stock, you just go ahead, and if you're looking to go long, you click on the ask. You'll notice now that queues up an order to purchase 1 share. You could adjust that all there, and it takes us back to the trade tab here. So again, I mean, this is really unique experience, and the fact that you can have your watch list up on the left side, quickly switch between symbols using that. You can have your options chain in the middle of the screen. You can queue up a stock order directly from the middle of the screen, and then you can even analyze this position using the right sidebar menu, all like on your main trading platform here. There's no need to kind of fiddle around and click around into different tabs, anything along those lines. And this thing's built for speed. And as an end user, I mean, you could really, really take advantage of the fact that everything is just laid out here for you. All right, everybody. I think I'm going to go ahead and get things wrapped up right now. I want to thank you all for coming out to the demo today. Oh, actually, you know what? Just before we get into that, one more thing I wanted to show you all. If you have any questions as you're going through the platform, I mean, we have our help center is phenomenal. We have over like 400 articles in there that explain different features on the platform, things along those lines. So chances are, if you see something on the platform, I mean, there's an article about it. So if you wanted some more information about, like, let's say maybe the right sidebar menu, I know we covered a lot today, but maybe you wanted a little bit of a refresher, you could actually go ahead and click on this question mark, the left side of the page here. This will bring up let me get this back open to the middle of the page. This will bring up our help center. And from here, again, let's say maybe you wanted some information about the right sidebar menu. You just type in right sidebar. And there you go. First article at the top has all the ins and outs of the right sidebar, what you can do, the desktop features. We also have this on the web browser, if you're familiar with that trading platform. So you could read all about it here. Another thing I wanted to stress as well, I mean, our support is phenomenal. Anytime you have a question, if you're stuck and you can't find something on the help center, or maybe you just want a quick answer, please do pick up the phone and give us a call here. Here's our contact information. So this is going to be our contact information. Again, I stress that you please do give us a call here anytime you have a question, platform related, trading related. Please do give us a call. It's going to be the best way to contact us. You may speak to one of us here, either myself, Mark, Christian, Andy, or Jolie, when you call in. As I'm sure some of you, I recognize a few names here in the chat. I'm sure some of you have spoken to us over the phone. So yeah, please do give us a call anytime you have a question. But that is all I have for you all here today.